Now's your chance.
Mr. Connor Southwell, that was a fitting tribute for a legend today.
Yeah, spot on. That was it. The support's got the opportunity to say goodbye to someone who, for 10 years, has been exceptional. You know, perhaps peaks and troughs a little bit with him, but yeah, definitely a legend and someone who I mean, I'll never forget playing for Norwich for sure.
I mean, your article was brilliant on TalkNorwichCity.com, but it was sort of interesting, wasn't it? Because a lot of people have been saying there wasn't really any standout Wes moments. I mean, the penalty against Ipswich, except for that, there wasn't any real standouts. But he's gone down as one of the greatest players in Norwich City history. That's unique, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is the emotive connection that people feel with him. I think it's the way he makes you feel when he plays, and he's the reason a lot of people love football, for his sort of style of play and the technical players who perhaps, you know, particularly in English football, and he was a bit ahead of his time to be fair, but a wonderful footballer and a wonderful technical player, and yeah, I think it is that emotive response that makes people think, yeah, I like Wes Hoolahan, because he makes you feel when you play, and that's the hardest emotion to sort of evoke out of people, particularly while you're playing.
Jumping straight to the pessimistic view after a great win, we saw the former players, the current players, talking about how big of an influence Wes is in the dressing room. You lose an Angus Gunn, he'll probably go. You lose a Wes Hoolahan, you lose maybe a Russell Martin. Suddenly, you haven't got much experience in that dressing room. Is that a problem? Potentially.
I think, you know, people have got to step up now, and then that's where it comes to. If the right people step up and you know, new leaders are formed, then, you know, I think they're fairly replaceable. But you need experience in the squad for sure, because particularly in this league where, you know, you've got 46 games, Tuesday, Saturday, it's tough, and you do need experience, but perhaps not as much as Norwich have had in recent years. So yeah, but the dressing room dynamic will be probably weaker for Wes leaving, but as I say, someone to step up and grab it now.
I mean, the inconsistency has really sort of tarnished what has been at times a fairly exciting season. What do we do to make sure that we, first of all, get some consistency next season, and second of all, put in performances like we saw in that second 45 minutes today?
I think it comes down to recruitment. You get the right players, I mean, it's funny because it's one of those situations where you can quite plausibly see none of those players who play today here next season. So it's really bizarre. But
so does that then go down as another transitional season? Are you constantly in that cycle?
I think it depends how you do. If you sort of don't start the season very well, I think it will probably get labelled as another transitional season, but you can't keep going through transition. There needs to be a point where it stops. But yeah, they've got to get recruitment right, and as long as they get, I mean, to be fair, Gunn and Reid, will we see them next year? I don't know, but I'm quite confident that Norwich will find some loan players who fit into that system quite well, because it is quite dynamic and it is quite athletic, and, you know, it demands players to get up and down. So in terms of youth, I think it could lend itself to that quite nicely. But as you say, yeah, it's going to be difficult.
I suppose another positive as well is I certainly wrote off Mario Vrancic come Christmas this year, and he's turned into one of our better performers over the past few months. The same with Onel Hernandez, he looks the real deal. So it is promising that players are starting to grow into a system. Well,
yeah, the thing is with recruitment is it's never going to be perfect, and players are going to take time, and that's sort of the nature of it, particularly when they come from abroad, because particularly in Germany the football is so different to what it is in England. It's more physical, you don't get as much fouls, it's a bit more scrappy, so there was always going to be a period of adjustment. But a year down, you know, if we're going in August with this Mario Vrancic and this Onel Hernandez, it's going to be exciting, I think.
Season kind of review, I know let's keep it short, but general kind of vibe after what's been the last home game. What's been your thoughts on this season?
I think it's been pretty much as I expected, to be fair. Perhaps I've predicted Norwich to finish a bit higher, but I think in terms of sort of peaks and troughs, I expected it to be very up and down. But yeah, I think improvement. There must be some improvement next season, or if not, that lot in there will turn.
Connor, top man. Thanks,
Cheers,
mate.